Alrighty, so howdy everybody. So I just want to give a general update of kind of all the stuff I've been working on recently. So tires, I'll be putting out a new tire review here probably a couple more weeks when I roll over 5,000 miles on them. But yeah, those have been great tires so far. So this is the off-road mud mower that I posted a video about earlier, like a few months back. I got this for free from one of the people I know who gives me free scrap sometimes, and he said that there was a valve issue with it. And so what I've done to this thing so far, I didn't take any videos of this stuff, unfortunately. I have a couple little clips of working on the carb, but I may throw that in here, I don't know. But so basically this thing is not going to be what I wanted it to be. I was going to make this into a kind of like an ATV thing, but I'd rather keep it as a working lawnmower because I'm kind of planning on using it to make money. I figure that's a better use for it than something else like that. So anyway, I've added this switch panel here. This came off of a like some kind of switch for a really old computer terminal type of thing, to where you could have all your like auxiliary I guess units hooked up to this, and you can turn them off. And I don't really know what it does, but it came with this really nice switch panel that we just riveted on there. And I'm planning on hooking up the headlights and maybe a couple other things to this, but this was originally going to be used to run all of the electronics on this thing. And since I'm not going to be making this into a mud mower anymore, this is basically just kind of decoration. So yeah, I've cleaned every inch of this mower. Took the engine off and took everything apart, took it down, took the head off, took the crankcase, like the bottom end of it off, to check on the inside to make sure everything looked good. The cam looked fine, crankshaft looked great. You know, there's no like metal filings or anything in the oil. I think there was fuel mixed into the oil. It seemed like it was super watery, but it wasn't water, so I don't really know what that is. But so I got a new crankcase gasket, new head gasket, new valve cover gasket, new exhaust manifold gasket, an intake manifold gasket, a new spark plug. What else did we put in this thing? New Briggs & Stratton oil, which strangely, buying like 48 ounces of their branded oil came out to be cheaper than like even Walmart, like 10W30 or 5W30 or whatever you want to throw in these things. It just has to be 30 weight, but it was, you know, like a couple bucks cheaper, and I got free shipping on it. And now I was like, well, might as well order it online since I'm already here. So the one thing that's holding me back from testing this thing at the moment is when I was taking this apart, because what happened was I was storing this at one of our properties, because I don't really have room for it up here. I don't have room for it in my apartment either, so I took it down there and I took the engine off of it and the rear end out of it, because I was going to lock that up, but I ended up not doing that. So anyway, whenever I was doing that, the starter that sits here with these two bolts right here, there's I guess like a ferrite connection in it. Let's see if it'll focus on that. But this like hooks onto this positive connection right here, and this part right here goes in through the bottom of the starter, and I guess turns on the brushes or spin. I'm not an expert in electronics or any of that by any means, but what I do know is that I broke this off. Instead of like unbolting it, I just snapped it off, and so I have to order like a new starter is like $30, but you can buy this bottom plate here with a new set of brushes and like all the little copper cabling and everything that hooked up to the armature in there for like $13. So I'm gonna order that here pretty soon and just replace the bottom end of it instead of doing the whole thing. And then once I get this thing back on, I can actually finally test this thing. So yeah, probably another month out, a couple weeks until I can get that thing done. What else did I do? I put in one of these type of fuel filters on it. I bought like a 10 pack of them off Amazon for like $8. Figured that'd be good to have for everything since we have like 3 or 4 of these mowers all over Texas. So yeah, that's the update on this thing. I have to hook up the throttle cable and all that kind of stuff until, you know, I basically have to figure out how the carb hooks back up to it because I didn't pay close enough attention whenever I was taking it apart, and I kind of bent some stuff. So yeah, lessons learned. Don't tear into something like this until, you know, you get to test it, so, or try and start it. So that was dumb on my end, but I learned a lot about how these things work, and I know pretty much how everything on the, at least in the engine, goes together if anything breaks. So trying to see the positives in it. And here's a couple other engines I've been working on recently. So I just got, I think like 2 years ago, like back when I was still in high school, so it was, I mean, maybe it's been like 3 or 4 years ago now, but I got this Echo SRM 210 off the side of the road, and it didn't run. I took it to my small engine guy, and I think he threw a carb in it, and it runs fine, but it leaks gas out of the air filter housing, as you can see right there. So I think I need to get I'm just gonna get a new bulb for it and a new set of fuel lines, and I don't know. There may be some kind of gasket in there that went bad, but I know I can get the fuel lines and all that stuff for like, I think $13 at Home Depot, and I'm sure a lot cheaper if I ordered online. So I gotta get that going. The season is starting back up, and we need that to maintain our river house. So all in all, I have like, I think I had $65 in that thing like 5 years ago, and it's still here and it still runs. It just leaks fuel all over your arm. So, but this one right here, this GT200R, I just picked this thing up yesterday, and at the moment I'm not sure what's wrong with it. It sounds like it has compression, but I haven't really gotten a chance to mess with it too much. But I'm planning on getting this thing going before August for whenever I move into a new house for my last year of college, and we have to maintain the yard. So I'm gonna need this thing. It's a curved shaft. I don't like curved shaft trimmers, but I mean, I found it on the side of the road, so it's free. I can't really complain about that too much, especially in Echo. I haven't quite figured it out. So there's I guess on the straight shaft trimmers, or I'm not sure when they changed this, but usually the kill switch is right here by the handle, and this one doesn't have it. It only has the gas. It doesn't have any kind of like safety or anything like that. So there's this like toggle switch right here that I'm assuming this is the kill switch, and I'm not sure which way it goes, but I think this is gonna be the same story. I think it needs like new fuel lines, maybe a new spark plug, and I may have to kind of tear into the carb a little bit. But the nice thing about working on all this stuff is that the parts are super cheap, like in comparison to a lot of other stuff. And since it's an Echo, I know I can just take it to a dealership, and I can probably get the parts straight from a dealership. So that's gonna be. I'm definitely gonna make some videos about these two as I get them fixed. I really like Echo stuff, so I have those two I both found on the side of the road, and then this one over here. Bought this one new. I think this one's a 225, or what is this one? Yeah, this is an SRM 225, so that one's a lot newer than that, and we bought that one new probably like 7 or 8 years ago, and it starts up every time, no complaints. Takes anything you throw at it. You know, we have a big hillside down at our river house that you can't take a mower on because it's just like a 45-degree angle, and this thing will trim the entire side without overheating. Doesn't complain at all. Absolute beast. And I also have this PB 250LN. I bought this for my dad on Father's Day. I don't even remember, but it's been a few years now. Same story. It's just unbeatable. You can't buying cheap equipment, in my opinion, is never worth it. Like, compared to buying a weed eater or something like that, if you go out and buy like a $100 weed whacker, it'll last you 2 seasons, and it'll start giving you problems, and you're just always messing with it. You're always mad at it. But if you spend a little bit, not a little bit more money, but you invest money into it, it will just last you for 10, 15 years. And also, something that we've discovered is that, I learned about this from when I bought that blower, but apparently Echo's warranty, you have to use ethanol-free fuel. And honestly, since we've switched over to using only the ethanol-free on all of our 2-stroke stuff, it is unbelievable. Nothing ever goes wrong. Like, I know the ethanol can like deteriorate like your gaskets and fuel lines and stuff like that, and I guess that can gum up your carb and just give you all kinds of problems. But ever since we started using that ethanol free stuff, it starts up every time, no problems. So anyway, so that's a little bit of a ramble, but so yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna get these two working. Oh, and another thing. So this is a I believe it's an RKI or what does it say? Yeah, it's a Rawson steel toolbox. I just picked this up off the side of the road yesterday, and it has a broken hinge, obviously right there. But planning on getting that welded up and putting that on the trailer. So I will. I'll keep everyone posted on that stuff. So stay tuned, like, subscribe. See y'all later.